Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of the second video of the Van Man build challenge. Now I know that sounds confusing, but what I mean is that I released the part 2 video for the top 10 creations and it was featuring 5 because I didn't want the video running too long. And here we have the next 5. So in the first video we had 4 RVs and 1 modular container. Here we have an ice truck, 2 ambulances, 1 rescue truck, and 1 generator vehicle. So with these 4 or 5 rather creations that we see here, they are all making it to the next round in addition to the previous 5 that were shown in the last video. Now, thank you to all that have participated. Like I said in the last video, all the fanfare and the different creations were amazing. Very tough to judge, by the way. I did read all the Steam descriptions. I downloaded and tested everyone's creation. So I do want to say everyone did a fantastic job. Everyone deserves a pat on the back. But these 5 plus the 5 in the last video are the ones that are moving on. I will be making another video with the top 3, and that's where I'll be announcing the winner, which gets the prize of me making their creation, and we'll have a joint upload where the winner will be added as a contributor to the creation. So that will be done in the next video, but for now we're going to be taking a close look at these 5 creations, everything about them, and seeing how they work. Now these 5 are lined up in no particular order. It's not meaning anything the way they're lined up right now, and we're going to go through them all in detail. So follow along. Here we have Pengu's ice truck. So what it is an ice truck that has been converted into a penguin transport truck. Now there's 4 adorable penguins in the back. There's ice, there's water, there's disco lights, there's an aurora borealis or northern lights, so all sorts of fun stuff. The description, it says pretty much that. It was a van made to safely transport sick and injured penguins. It was originally for transporting ice to gas stations, but then renovated for the penguins. Now we even have the 4 penguins, Flurry, Chili, Waddle, and Pebble. We have their locations, so we're going to find them. We have their ages, so the oldest is Waddle and the youngest is Pebble. And they all have different descriptions. So Chili is claustrophobic. How it all looks in the game is like this, and while from the outside you definitely see the ice built up around the top there. The logo is clean. Let's take a look in here. It's not been changed inside, except this is to open a Pengu gate, which is obviously a joke. It's inoperable, but I like that. And then up here we say penguins are happy, they're cooler lights, and the penguin cooler is latched. So let's start up the vehicle and come outside. Oh, take a look at that. So, if we watch it closely. Oh, look at that. So, I want to see. Oh, there he is. Oh, and he looks around. Cool. So coming back here, that is Chili, the middle left, 14 years old, and he wants to escape the cooler. So I suppose with him, we can latch the gate, and if you see this thing here, if we press this button, that closes it, and now it's physically latched and prevents Chili from trying to escape. That is one of the things. So we see here, Chili is claustrophobic and will try to escape. He likes it when the hatch is unlocked, but it is not safe. Then here, read the Steam for the backstory, and here, please turn on the lights. Pebble is scared of the dark and gets nervous when it is dark, so let's turn on the lights. Now we have it latched, but they're not happy. If we turn the latch off, let's see if they're happy. Yes. So now they're happy, even though the occasional time Chili wants to make sure he can escape, so he'll just pop up, do a little wave, look around, and go back in. Now, I do love all this ice detail here and the colors. I think that looks excellent on the top. And the side writing, very, like, it's simplistic in a way, but very cool and very well done. Back here, We have stairs, we have our lights. Now we can also open the cooler itself and make our way up there. So there's chili. Oh. Need to jump up when I get to the top, presumably, for me to actually get in. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I don't know if I could come in with the penguins, hang out with them. There comes Chili for his wave. So here we have Chili trying to escape. There we have Waddle, and that's the dad. We have Pebble, that's the son. And here in the front is the calming penguin. Flurry, the calming penguin. Now there is water in the bottom, as you can see. There's these cool lights. They're holding each other's hand, which is really cute. These things are the cutest. They're like, honestly, this is incredible. Just, I mean, so simple out of these blocks, but so Lego-like. And I'm gonna have to jump on their head to try to escape. I do love their little rock formation or ice formation and the northern lights. And now if we actually make it nighttime and probably drive outside of this hangar so we can actually see how it all works. Now there is also lights on the side that turn on automatically that illuminate the ice logo, and there are unflippers, so the truck actually has little flippers on the side, which is cute, and that's if you flip over. Now we'll go to the back where we can see the northern lights. We'll turn off the cooler lights, it says, and turn on the party lights. So with the party lights, what do we have? Right on. So the northern lights, the aurora borealis is there. We have the northern lights the disco lights flashing. The penguins are having a proper party. So we can now close the door. Now they are having a party in there. Unfortunately, we cannot join them, but we can at least transport them to safety, as this is a vehicle that is made to transport the penguins to a marine hospital. So that is how the creation works. All the lights light up when you drive. Yeah, honestly, oh, even the top has the nice little spinning air conditioners. Very cool creation, very polished. Definitely looks the part and is super creative and interesting. Great job on this one, Pengu. I do want to lower the flippers once more. That's hilarious. The truck has flippers. So yeah, great submission. That's a lot of fun. Very cute. The next submission is by user Bigman. It is an ambulance, and it has all sorts of stuff inside it, including a stabilized medical bed, working heart rate monitor, medical equipment, side and rear doors, seating for 3 weeping family members, and an optional, apparently, paramedic. That's always good if they're not even there. And sirens and lights. So let's take a look at it. Now, I do love how it looks. The color scheme obviously looks, to me, living in North America, this looks very European specification. I'd say almost British even. Bars are usually red or yellow or a combination of those colors, but it doesn't matter. I love the front inverted ambulance for rear view mirrors. And overall, the shape and everything just looks very clean and put together. Little window sills around the side. The back, cool way to use a door, like using those manifolds. And I do like the orange and yellow sort of on the side, telling you to, steer clear. Also interesting to put a microcontroller just as a detail on the side. If we go ahead and open the side door, so it's on a working sliding system, opens up fairly fast, and even there's a handle for us to sort of plop into, or we could jump. Now inside the ambulance, also let's open the back door. Now the back is different, it's just on a simple pivot system, but the whole thing opens up, which is awesome. And now we're in here. There's solid rocket boosters to kind of look like a seating bench, not a workbench, a seating bench. There's the space for the 3 weeping family members, and here's for the optional paramedic. They could sit next to the medical bed. Now we have equipment. We have spotlights. Let's see where the equipment is. So there's a defibrillator. That's a mouthful after a long day. A defibrillator. Yes, defibrillator. Cupboard with medical packs, lots of them, and oxygen, radio, so pretty neatly tucked away. This side does not have any equipment, but it uses edge panels just to make it look like cupboards. Oh, and if we close this door, we're gonna have our view again. So, side door, perfect. Let's close ourselves in. Yes, nice. Yeah, I can't say defibrillator because anyways, I'm an engineer. I'm not a medical person. Yeah, really cool. And you can open this heart rate monitor and the pulse, lay on this thing, and if you look at it, you now see we have a pulse. So we are alive. Obviously that works if you put a other person on this. Now one other thing we have is down here to stabilize the medical beds. So we see that there's pivots on these joints, and this thing can actually be stabilized. I'd be curious how that works, especially as we drive, for example. See if we can rev it up and drive fast. Yep, it's on a whole gimbal system. So as we steer crazy, the thing's actually moving around. Right on. So that is a working, stabilized medical bed. See if we could jump back here. And how to turn on the regular lights. Interior lights, beautiful. Oh yeah, that's right. In the other video, I do love that nice dimming effect. Like, so soothing and not abrupt like what I usually use. So it's definitely polished. Like when you look at all this stuff, from the spotlight to how the cabinets work, the exterior paint job, just a very polished creation that looks the part of an ambulance, performs the part of an ambulance. Oh, let's test those lights. And siren. So they said there's a button in front of the steering column, so steering, sirens and lights. It is possible that I'm missing something or that it was not connected. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on infinite electric. Cool. Got the siren, got the flashing lights. If we make it evening. That looks cool. It's a really nice ambulance. Little porthole in the back to look in, the side windows. Overall, very well done. I guess the one thing is if I am missing the breaker, or whether this is not connected to anything, but that's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Like these soothing interior lights and all these details, including this bed that's stabilized. Like really well done. Beautiful little ambulance. Like I said, European specification and totally just suited for the part, for saving people and delivering them to a hospital. So definitely well done on this one. Beautiful creation. The next submission is by user Lord Bison, and there's only the one picture showing an ambulance. This one looks like United States or Canadian specification, North American specification anyways, rather than European. However, it says that it flies, so that's interesting. It tells us that the lore behind it is Merlion Airlines is proud to present, in cooperation with Buckle Motors, the new prototype, the rescue vehicle Minerva. This unit is named after the Roman goddess of medicine, wisdom, music, justice, and more. Her trusty owl is at her side when needed. The unit came from 2 representatives from the above companies waiting for their flight, and noticing that they are at the same engineering and trade show. As their loud and boisterous conversation continued, someone heard them say, "Make a flying van. Ha, that'll be the same day pigs fly." That's right, 2 folks have put together transforming a van that flies. Vans 1, pigs 0. So it goes on to say how to fly this. It says there's a phantom force, but I mean, if we get it up in the air, that's going to be amazing. There's all sorts of stuff, including hand crank generators, flashing lights, a landing assist. It says, though, the landing assist will require damage to be off because you're landing a flying van. I'm very curious how this is going to work. So let's take a look and see if we can do it. Now, there's a lot of instructions, so this may take a little bit of time, but let's give it a go. And also, Lord Bison says, "This is my first successful plane." I would argue it's not a plane. I'm just kidding, man. It's a van plane. So let's take a look how it works. So here is the van, or the ambulance, and as you can see, it has the cool inverse writing. Now, I say North American specification because our vans are usually based on a Ford Econoline platform, and they're kind of extended in the back, so that definitely looks like this. And interestingly enough, the back also has the cool pattern to sort of avoid crashing into this thing. It uses wings as doors, so the service doors, to access this stuff, which is actually a very interesting and creative idea. It doesn't use pivots, and these wings may even be used for flying, so I'm not quite sure how that all works. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that when you do open the service doors, so previously, you could kind of just glitch through it, but whatever, you open the door, you could even hop in. There's a seat for, someone attending to the person. There's all sorts of connectors. Like, you're in an industrial looking thing. You're not in a beautiful ambulance. But here there is a bed. It says, "Yes, you'll survive. It's loud, and we provide free earplugs." So, not the best way to transfer someone, but they'll survive. So keep that in mind. Now up here we have fins. I don't quite notice if we do have a defibrillator, but that's on what? So this is on one side. If we go to the other side, you see here there's another bed. There's no real danger. You're already in a med bed. So now there's more equipment. Again, a place for a person to help sit. Now imagine sitting there while this thing's flying. Kind of scary, but you'll survive. As it says in the back, we've got our power generator. We have the exhaust. Oh, thermal clothing. There we go. There's the defibrillators. Is that a seat? Oh, geez. Where are we sitting now? We're sitting right next to the exhaust. So now we're in like a very back area, almost like an equipment storage. And there's chairs on either side. So here we have all sorts of equipment, and you could even sit. Emergency generator. There's a crank. So we can presumably do something with that. I don't know if it starts a motor or not, but let's see if we can jump out of this. Alright, come on. Squeeze. Yes. Okay. That was the first part, I guess. And there's two generators with the hand cranks, so I'd be curious how they work and how they function. But let's close the doors. Life-based equipment. Ah, okay, never mind. So this is how you get into this area. You sit here and squeeze out through there, but this is where we get our defibrillator. Anyway, all this stuff, indicator light, presumably telling us that, this is open. I do like the system to which it slides out and pivots. That is actually really cool. And it's on both sides, I presume. Cool. Yeah, it is. Is that an explosive? Alright, sometimes you just gotta blow stuff up. Now they said there was a wise owl. Minerva has an owl. I don't see if there is an owl or if that is an owl. But let's give it a shot. Let's try driving it first before we do anything. Now, right away you could see something's up because there is a helmet sitting on the seat. Now we close the door. It says tune turbine to 24 RPS prior to takeoff. There's a heads up display. There's this button. Landing thing. Jet fuel alarm override. And up above we have all sorts of fun things. Gyro on and off. Okay, so let's start it up. Put it into gear. And let's drive. Let's see how the lights work. So that is pushing 3. We got our lights. Cool. Then we get our siren. And then third one is turning it off. And it kind of just goes 1.5 second delay. So that is a sweet system for the signals. I think it's even better than mine, to be honest. For my police vehicle, I have just on different buttons the different types of alarms. Whereas here it's just in one. So first time it's the lights. Now it turns on that, and then everything just shuts off. So that's actually really clean. Horn piercer. on EM mode. So if we have this, wow, I do like that. So when this is on, that is no longer a horn. I may have to do that on my creations regardless. That's a genius system. And then back to regular horn, so you can honk at traffic. Perfect. Extra ground lighting, presumably for landing. And we got spotlights in front. Enable land cycle, we're not going to touch that now. And then what time it is, hold to activate, so 6, and then we'd press fly a clock. Now we can position ourselves at the end of the runway. We'll actually turn on all this stuff. Thrust, turbines, takeoff, throttle. We'll get going. We're not in airplane mode yet, so we're still in car mode. But that all lights up. And we'll make sure to press 6 in a bit here. So hold 6. Oh. There we go. Wow. And the wings all Jeez. Wow. I have to say, I'm actually very impressed. I'm impressed because the doors themselves, the part of the door that was to get in, also folds in to become the wing. I did not see that coming. I did not expect, and also this little rotor part, or tail fin, just appears. The one for the yaw pops up from inside. So that is crazy. And the back even opens up. Sorry, I didn't notice that either until now. So everything folds out from the existing van, and now we're flying a van. How crazy is that? Yeah, can we turn on our siren? There we go. Flying ambulance. Oh, there's the owl. I knew there had to be an owl somewhere with that description. There's the owl. And there's some other writing. It looks like Greek writing. I'm not sure if that's saying something for Minerva, but unreal. Just how it all folded out is a testament to this creation's, like, how genius and how, like, everything was compacted. Anyway, well done. Well done on this creation. I'm thoroughly just impressed with how it all folds out. Now, I am scared to try to land it, to be honest. I'm not going to bother that. I don't have no damage on, so just enjoy the view for a second here, and we'll move on to the next creation. But that, I did not see that coming. That was very smooth, how it took off. Really, really cool. The next creation is by user berryboyau, and it is a combat search and rescue van intended for locating and saving people from downed aircraft or lost in combat. It's got an ATV on the back, which was made by the user berryboyau. Now, generally, I did say when there's a trailer, the trailer has to be less than half the size of the vehicle, but with the folding part, it's approximately half, so we'll let that go. I mean, plus or minus 2 blocks, it doesn't really make a difference. The camouflage paint job is the first thing that I see here, as well as this awesome front bumper guard with the spotlights and the winch, really like industrial and heavy duty looking, even has pivots to sort of wrap around the front of the vehicle, so I do like that a lot. The camouflage paint job obviously is because this is for downed combat people, soldiers and stuff. We got a spare tire here. There's a stabilizer arm. Oh, spare tire or an actual stabilizing system. Neat. Oh, yeah, there we go. Pop that up. It has a switch box. Now I wonder if it is connected to my microcontroller for the trailers. I don't see taillights, so maybe not. We could release the quad bike. We'll do that in a bit, but it does seem to sit nicely in the trailer, and it uses these rails to, like, it fits it perfectly, I'd say. So it looks really good there, and it's connected on the sides. Now getting to the truck, or the van, well done with the color scheme. Let's take a look at the interior. So interior, there's no difference from what was given. Let's drive it out of here. take a look how it handles with the trailer. So it seems to drive nicely. And yeah, the trailer does not seem to have my microcontroller, but that's okay. Turn off the truck. Okay, so let's hop out and jump into the back of this. So now here there is a litter 1 and a litter 2. They're medical beds. I do like this taillight, to be honest. Like, I know the trailer doesn't have it, but I do like this one that's on this pivots on this system, and I like the pivots that have this part that comes down. Like, the overall shape is really cool. And then if we jump into the back of this, we have an armor vest. We can open up ammo compartment. So for the gun, as you can see, there's a gun. Because this is a combat vehicle, you could reload ammo. And then on the other side is medical compartment. So there's all sorts of equipment, flares and stuff, even spare guns. It's a nice little compartment. I do like the paint job on it. So that gets us to the back now, where we have the beds. So what I would assume is you can release the bed for you to then take it into the hospital or something like that. Can you reconnect it? Yeah, you can. So there's no handles or any system that I see. I don't know if the quad bike can. No, it probably cannot accommodate one of these beds. So the beds are, you could take them out, but I don't know if you can drag them anywhere, if they just belong here. I mean, I think it would be really neat to see a system where you can actually put these on the quad bike. I know the quad has its own bed, or maybe do something else with them. Please let me know in the comments if I'm missing it, by the way, but I guess it's just so you could like load it into the hospital. Anyway, you lay on the bed, make sure you get saved, all that good stuff. So overall, very straightforward creation, but very neat. Like the open, almost looks like one of those safari vehicles, except this one has a machine gun and medical beds. But I do like that. Everything seems to function nicely. Lastly, we'll take a look at the quad. Now this down button, like, I do see that that's not fully I mean, in my opinion, the pivot should stop once it comes to here, maybe, in case you're on an incline, but not a big problem. Just my own personal opinion. But that's a beautiful ramp, beautiful trailer. Like, I do like this trailer, especially with all these railings. And let's take a look at the quad bike. So I do also like how the quad has its own medical bed. Turn it on. And let's reverse out of here. So it uses a modular engine, we could see. It's a really cool design too for the bike, for the quad. Like the front especially looks like what you'd expect the quad to look like. And interesting, they use these hardpoint connectors. I've actually never used one. Fun fact, never used one in my creations. But I do like how they look here even. Almost, and you could even grab them, so you could use them as a handle. So they have, I see, that may be how you use this. Maybe if we release these, how do we make sure we pull them out? Anyway, I'd imagine you'd have a hardpoint connector on the back that you can, I mean, maybe even connect to this, but if not, you'd at least be able to connect, you'd be able to drag it. So that's useful if you flipped your quad or ATV. I do like the handle and the system to which we're sitting on it. Like, it's not a chair, it kind of fits a little better. And there's even a front winch with winch controls, so good for, you know, towing things. Now, the ramp allows us to park back on here, which is useful, and the creation itself seems to have a good overall sort of feeling. And I do like the front shield and colors. So that is a really cool creation. Definitely one that can be useful in this game, since it has both the medical capability as well as the weapons. So really cool submission. That I do think this is a super neat one. And yeah, I love it. The shield, especially the front shield, and just how it looks. Very low beam lights. Ooh, can we turn on those lights or no? Maybe not. Maybe decoration only. But anyway, looks really rugged and tough. So cool. Yeah. On to the next. User 45 code and the generator van with the remote start option. So this van, there's no description here, but we'll take a look in Stormworks. So here it is in the hangar. The first thing that I note is that I really do like the dual axle on the rear. Like, I think this shape looks great with all the equipment on the back, the generator, and then the wheels, 2 wheels. So I do think that's a nice look. This unit definitely looks very rugged with all these like ports and stuff. We can't get up on the roof, but if you go to the roof, you could see there's even a cooler. 2 of them, 2 radiators, and some more intakes and stuff, antennas. So it looks the part, like it looks very rugged. And it'd be a good fit for Alta, which is exactly what this says. But we're gonna get to that in a second. First, we'll start off with the interior. Inside, there's no differences, nothing on the ceiling. Startup is normal, whatever. So it seems to be just the standard van, because everything is on the back. Now there are 6 electrical connectors on either side, as well as 2 more on the rear. There's a bunch of fluid ports. I'm not sure exactly which to use, but we'll do that in a second. So first things first, we'll open up this compartment. Now you can start the systems first, which gets these 2 lights flashing, and then you can start the engine. And you can throttle it up and down. Obviously you have the circuits, and then you have engine block heater, exterior lights, ultra cool system, and disable protection and overheat. Now this ultra cool system doesn't quite explain what that is. It may be that it turns on more fans or radiators somewhere. Probably better to have it on. You can obviously turn this up and you can watch the generator output. So we're at almost 950. Now there may be a sweet spot. No, it goes down. So it seems the best is when you put it to full throttle, it's around close to 900. I do love this display. I like how you can also close it too. So when you open it up, it has to reboot the system. So that's interesting. I mean, if the engine's on, maybe the system would stay on, but I mean, it's a cool little loading screen. It's not annoying. In fact, it's pretty nice looking. So 100% battery, generator, fuel, temperature, RPS, everything is there. Now we can turn this down, and if we turn all this off, the generator turns itself off. Now what I found really neat was the fact there is a remote control unit for this, but we're going to get to that in a second. First, I do want to show one more thing. If you turn the throttle up and do all this, you can actually go to the other side. Here you could activate connectors, so that's these guys. Now I'm not quite sure how they work or what was intended for them, if they're intended to connect to an external vehicle that maybe has this type of connection. They're not on a winch system, but like I guess you could grab it and sort of attach it to something, so that is neat to know. Also, I guess you could just straight up disconnect it and attach it to the vehicle and then come back here and plug it in. And now you have, you know, an extended version. Albeit now it'll be harder to start driving. But check this out. There's actually a secondary exhaust valve and an intake pump, I'm guessing, for the fuel. So this is most likely where you fuel it up. Now if we turn it off, turn all this off, let's set a remote channel. Let's say 4. Now everything's off, but if we come over to our remote control here, and this part I think is really creative because it kind of adds a little bit of extra features to this. So let's put channel 4, and then let's turn on the remote. Generator remote activate hold. So let's hold this. and then let's turn up the throttle. And what's really cool is actually when you move the remote button, it moves this lever up, so that actually drops and raises both. And you could also turn it off from here too. So now we've turned off the generator. So I think it's a really cool system that you could use it via remote. You could also charge it up, which is very smart if your remote runs out of juice. But neat that it's all tied in, and it's a very, like, exterior wise looks very industrial, almost basic. I mean, the front of the van and then the back just like a big box, but it has details. It has these little vents, it has the intercoolers, the radiators on the roof, it has this stuff in the rear, so it's all well thought out. And it has a remote control system and this beautiful kind of loading screen and interface, which just looks awesome. So I think that the overall feeling is really cool. One thing I'd probably do is put these on winches and also explain what they're supposed to be used for, just because I'm not quite understanding exactly how to use this. And one more thing is, while the remote is awesome and it has the radio antenna and all this stuff, I'd probably put at least a handle on it, or a connector, because what if you drive off in this van? This is just going to stay put wherever it is wherever it is you're located. So it would probably be more useful that it starts off attached, maybe to the back here, or on the side if it's inside like a little compartment, and then you could pull it out and kind of drag it like a handle, or just push it along. Maybe it could have also just been used with the regular remote control the game offers. I know you can't actually factor in things like push buttons. I think it's always a toggle button on the remote, but anyway, I think a handle would have sufficed and somewhere to stash it inside the van. But overall, a really cool creation, a really useful looking generator truck, and definitely a little more high-tech than even my generator truck. So I do think that it is a worthy contestant. So thank you for showing us and building this. Definitely fun to explore and play with. So with that, I've showed you the top 10 creations out of more than 30 that were submitted for the Van Man Challenge. I hope you enjoyed the video where we went through and showcased in detail the top 10. I enjoyed all the submissions, so please don't feel disappointed or sad or let down if your vehicle is not here. All of them are fun to play around with. All of them have useful and creative features, and who knows, maybe in the next challenge you'll fare better. So keep that in mind. But as to the top 10 creators here, congratulations for having your vehicle make it to the next round. Stay tuned for the video where we have the top 3 and where we're going to announce the winner. But until then, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, happy Stormworksing, everyone.